See, the bundling is the process, right? It is a process for improving the performance of the website. Fine. Now, for everything what we do, we require a tool for that. Is it not? So if I want to make a call, what tool we require? If you want to make a call, what tool is required? Mobile. Okay, if you want to do our haircut, what tool is required?
Scissors.
Scissor. Okay, and comb. Okay. Now, if you want to do the painting, what tool is required?
A brush.
Yeah. So that means what? For everything what we do, there is a tool for that. Similar fashion in website, when you want to do the bundle, what tool we'll be using? We'll be using the tool called WebPack. WebPack is a package which is there in the which we'll be installing and we'll be using to do the bundling operation. So I want all of you to note down the steps what I am going to guiding you to do the bundling. Fine. Is it okay? So WebPack is the bundle tool which is available with NPM, and through that you are going to do the bundling. Now, can you see my screen over here? There is a file called index.js and there is a file called bar.js. Now I have a question for you. Which is the entry file over here? Which you consider as the entry file, entry JavaScript file among these two, and why?
Index. Dot bar.
Bar you want to make it as entry file. Why? Why is that so? Tell me. Okay, fine. Your answer, you just give the reason why you have answered it. Bar, you are making it as an entry file. See, there is a index.js which is importing bar, and then bar is implemented over here. So who is importing? That should be the root, right? Not who is got imported. Getting? Right?
Yes, sir.
So who is importing? That is the root file, and who is got imported? That is nothing but the child file. We can consider it. So over here, index.js, it is importing bar.js, and within the index.js, we are calling the bar function. So bar function is getting exported by the bar.js. So to do the bundling, what I will make it as the entry file? Tell me.
Index.js.
Index.js. So where you are going to mention that this index.js would be my entry point for the bundling. Where can you tell me in this place where I have mentioned it?
Entry.
Yeah. So in a entry key, in a property, I have written in the source folder, I have a index.js, which is where, and this information is giving in a webpack.config.js file. Okay. Okay. Now can you guys tell me what this bundle.js means?
This is the file name.
Bundle name.
After the bundle.
Yeah, so once we bundle index.js and bar.js together, once we bundle it, where the bundling content would be there, it would be there in the bundle.js file. That is the file name I'm explicitly telling. Okay, can you guys tell me where the bundle.js bundle file would be there, in which folder in my application?
HTML.
Dist.
Yeah, dist folder. See, dist folder. So this you can give it your own. Suppose I want to have my bundle output. I want to have my bundled JS file in a ABC folder, and I want to give my bundled JS file name as combine.js. So it's your choice. So combine.js, in that time when your output bundle file name is combine.js, can you tell me what changes you should make it over here?
Dist/combine.js.
Yes. So if you understand this picture, your bundling theory is done. So you may have multiple JS file, and among that multiple JS file, there will be one entry JS file. That means this is the entry JS file is going to import, or it's going to call the other JS file. Okay, those who are connected JS file. Now all these JS file, I want to put it in a bundle.js, and I will to put it in my application dist folder, and what would be the entry point? The index.js should be the entry point for my bundling activity. That's it. So this is the webpack.config.js. You have to mention this thing. And in the page.html, you are going to link the bundle.js, which is the bundle version of these two JS file. Okay, let's do it practically now. Please write down the steps, otherwise you will forget. So what I am doing, first thing, I am going to create a folder. In a Visual Studio, I am going to create a folder. The folder name is bundling demo.js. Is that fine? Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Now in the bundle.js, what I will do, I am going to create a folder. src, suppose. So I have created a folder src. Oh, sorry, I have created a file. Create a folder src. What happened? Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll create a folder here. Drive content JavaScript. I'll give the name bundling JavaScript demo. This is a folder I have created, bundling JavaScript demo. I'll go to this one, Visual Studio, bundling JavaScript demo. Okay, over here I'm going to create a folder. Go for create folder, and I'm going to have the src folder by that name. What happened? It is not expanding. Okay. Am I creating folder only, or what I'm creating? New folder src1, not getting expanded. One second.
I think now it will expand.
Now it will expand, no?
Just open one
We have to
folder.
save it. Do save.
So just open only building JavaScript demo. Only this folder.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, sir.
File. Building demo.
No, sir, I think in this open folder. In this open
File,
folder.
open folder, yes.
Yes, sir.
I'll go to this one now, JavaScript frontend, JavaScript, building JavaScript demo. Yeah, correct. So I'll delete this src here. I'll delete everything. Okay, now in the src, under src, what I will do, I'm going to create some JavaScript file. So what is it? New file. I'm going to have the new file name script.js. This is my first file. Then I'm going to create another file, which is called this one. script1.js. Okay. And then I'm going to have another file, suppose script2.js. So I have how many script file is there? One is script.js, is script1.js, and script2.js. Now in script1.js, I have some code. Suppose I am writing console.log, and over here what I will do, I'll have suppose hello. Now in the script2.js, I am having another console.log. Here I'm doing I want to do the bundling of all my JS file. So good morning, suppose. Good evening. This is the script2.js file. Then I have in script.js, what I will do, I'm going to import. I'm going to import what? I'm going to import single quote dot slash script script 1.js semicolon. I'm going to import the other file script, same folder, script script 2.js semicolon. So this much is my JavaScript code is there. Okay. Now I want to do the bundling of all these JavaScript file. So for that purpose, what I will do for this, to do the bundling operation for of your module binding operation for your application, you need to use the bundling tool which is called WebPack. So that means what you should do, you have to go to this folder, bundling JavaScript demo. Go to that folder, bundling JavaScript demo. If I type dir cd bundling JavaScript demo. If you go inside that folder, I require some dependencies to be installed, so that without that the bundling operation is not possible. So which are these dependencies? First thing, that dependencies which is required for bundling should be added in the webpack dot should be added in the webpack dot package dot json. So next time what you do, you go for npm, write it down this space, this step, npm init -y. So this is a command which is going to give you a package.json file for your application which is required for binding. Note it down, npm init -y. Now enter. So when you enter, yeah, now if you go for dir, see over here, you are getting a new file called package.json. This package.json, now what it will have, initially it will have some configuration like this. Okay, now in this package.json, I'm going to install some of the packages which is required for bundling, and that packages which I'm installing as a dependency would be added in the package.json. How it would be added? Like that. Now you write down next what you have to install. npm install. First thing is what? First thing is webpack that you need to install. Write it down. First you create a project folder. In the project folder, you have a source folder. In the source folder, you have multiple JS file which you want to bundle. Your HTML, your what are the files is required for bundling is ready. Now to do the bundling, what is your next step? You need to, from the command line or from your integrated terminal, you need to go to that particular project folder, and in that particular project folder, you need to run a command called this one, npm init -y. So this is going to give you a package.json. This is going to give you a package.json file automatically created in that folder, in that project folder. Once that is done, I'm going to install some of the packages which is required for bundling. For the first one, it is npm install webpack. Write down this also. Next step, npm install webpack. Okay, so whenever you add the npm install webpack, see, if you go to your project folder, if you refresh it, see, in the package.json, that dependency got added. So webpack version 5.73.0 I have installed, and that is got added as a dependency in the package.json. So this dependency is required for the doing the bundling, and it should be configured in the web package.json. Next step. What is the next step? I need to install some other packages for bundling. What are these? npm install clean webpack -plugin. Okay, so write it down. npm install clean -web. These steps, if you write it down, it will be better for your future purpose. npm install clean webpack plugin. If you enter, okay, so it is got installed. If you see the package.json, refresh it. See, clean webpack plugin got added as a dependency. Now what this clean Webpack plugin will do, it is going to clean the, see if you see over here, if you see over here, what is the bundle file name which is bundling? What is the bundle?
Script.js.
Bundle.js.
Bundle.js. So every time you build, every time you do some updation in your project and you are going to build it, the bundle.js previous content would be cleaned and it would be filled with a new content. Suppose in your project you have in my project I have a index.js and bar.js. If I build it in a bundle.js, I'll get these two files as a bundle format. But if I add another file, suppose bar.js, suppose pub.js. So if you have another JS file, I have added. Once if I add the another JS file, then this what is it called? This clean Webpack plugin, what it will do? The previous content of the bundle would be removed, and the new content which would be bundled of the last 3 JS file will be there in the bundle.js. It is just an updation. Every load, every build, it is going to get updated with the latest change, whatever you have made on your bundling. Is it okay? Clear? Okay, next thing. So we have installed the clean Webpack plugin also. There are some other, another two is there. Write it down. npm install html hyphen webpack hyphen plugin. So install this as well. Note it down. Okay, so if you go to the package.json, if you come over here, refresh it, see clean Webpack, HTML Webpack plugin is also created. The fourth installation which is required for bundling, which is this one, npm install Webpack CLI. Okay, fine. You have done with the 4 installation for which is been mandatory for doing the bundling operation. Next, what you will do, you are going to create a file. You need to create a manually, you need to create a file, and that manual file name would be webpack.config.js. So what is it? If you go over here in the main folder, suppose over here you are going to create a file. Create a file. What would be the file name? File name should be webpack.config.js. So what are the configuration file you require? One is required for package.json, where all the installation dependencies would be there, and another one is webpack.config.js, where the configuration for bundling would be there in this file. First, create a project. Then have the JS files ready with you. Now using init, npm init, create a package.json file. In the package, now you install the install the packages which is required for bundling. All would be added in the package.json. Then you need to have another separate file, webpack.config.js. Okay, that is the thing. Now next thing, what you do in the package.json, there is a property called script. So in that script property, you just comment this line, and over here you write what configuration file it should refer whenever you are going to build the application. So configuration file means what? It is like this. It has to be when you are going to build the operation, build colon and then double quote webpack hyphen that you need to refer in net, and you need to get this line of code. Config equal to webpack config.js. webpack.config.js. That's it. This is the this you need to have it. Okay, so that means in the package.json you are telling whenever you are going to build the file, that building, when you do the building, at that time of the building, it should refer the webpack.config.js file and do the binding, and with binding, with what is it called, bundling, the with bundling the building should take place. So this piece of information is telling whenever you are going to build this application, with the building, the bundling will also take place, and in the output directory that binding file should be present. Okay, now I'm going to write the code for this one, webpack.config.js. So over here what you should do, you write constant, this code has to be written over here. It is there in the PPT, you can refer that as well. Path. So you are going to create a variable path and require. Require is what? Require is like import in Java. What is there in import? Import some package, import some classes from package in Java. Same is over here. Require do for the JavaScript. And what I'm going to import? I'm going to import path from here. Okay. Next thing. Next is what? Now in this config.js, I have to give the information about the entry file, entry.js file, about the output directory, and about the bundling file name. So that information I need to give it over here. So how I can give it? I'll go for module.export. I'm going to export this information. Exports equal to, and module.export is nothing but an object. In that object, what are the properties are there? Entry properties. Can you tell me what would be the entry property over here? From the left hand side folder structure, what file would be the entry file?
Index.js.
Yeah. So how you are going to add it? Single quote
SRC.
dot slash in src folder, in the same folder src, yeah, then script 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 dot js. Okay, so this is the entry, and then I'll give a comma. Now what I will do, I'm going to have a output configuration. So in the output configuration, what I will have? Colon
File name.
Yeah, good. File name colon. So what would be the file? Where I'm going to what would be my bundling file?
Package.
Yeah, bundling. I'll make it as, give the name as, suppose main.ts, main.js. So this is the bundle file which would be created where? In the folder distributed dist. So here I'll give path colon path dot resolve, and over here what I will do, I'm going to have a double underscore and directory name comma the directory name where you want to, suppose output is the directory where, in this output directory, in the main.js, my bundled file would be there. Is it okay, guys? Clear? Okay, so I have done the bundling coding for me. So yeah. Yeah, these are a main.js is user defined name, and output also user defined folder name. But entry means whichever JS file is the starting JS file among all the JS file which you want to bundle, that should be this. Yeah, tell me now, what is your question? Yeah. Okay, so we are ready with everything. Now what I will do, I'm going to save it.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
In entry, did you put that address of the file or?
Yeah, and this is in the source folder, in the address of the entry JS file.
That means we can put path also, no, there.
Yeah, you can put path. Yeah, you can put path also. You can put.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You can put path also. Path means it is the root direction only it is going to be taken. I have given it over here absolute address. You can give relative address, no issue.
Okay.
Okay. Now save it. File, save all. Now you go to your this one, your command line. In the command line, what you should do? You should do this one. You should run it or you should build it. So npm go for run, and then build. Okay, there is some issue over here. What is the issue?
The one error in package dot.
npm config over package.json unexpected token slash.
Sir, in I think in comment line in
In the
package dot JSON line.
That's how you have to remove
Yes,
the commented
Yeah,
line.
Sir,
comment.
remove the comment.
Okay, save it. Yeah, so bundling is done for us. Okay, so this information means this bundling is done for us. Now where you are going to look into see the bundling file? Tell me.
Output.
Yeah, in the output. In the output, which is our bundling file name?
Main.js.
Yes, see, this is the, see what is been done, that this script.js, which is importing script 1.js and script.2js and their respective code. All is, see, one is hello and another one is good evening. And this hello and good evening, two piece of code from the two different JS file is imported in the entry file, which is script.js. So if you go for main.js, so you'll see hello and you'll see good evening. And all the three files together, it is combined in the main.js. That is nothing but the concept of bundling. So like that, you can do the CSS binding. Like that, you can do the HTML binding as well. So one more time, write down the steps, those who have not written. First thing is what? All of you have written the steps, is it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. First thing, you need to create a folder, fine. And then what you will do? Create a, within the folder, create a SRC folder.
Three JS file.
Yeah, then you have all the multiple JS file, and then you go to the command line and get that package.json file by hitting npm init -y. So in the and once that is done, you install these plugins. Install clean webpack plugin, HTML webpack plugin, webpack plugin, webpack, and these are the packages you need to install. Once the installation is done, manually create webpack.config.js. And how now package.json is in a package.json under script. I am telling when I am building this application, it should do the bundling. And how, what is the information of the bundling? It is there in the webpack.config.js, which is this one. Information means what is the entry point of the bundling, what is the file name of the bundle file name, and what is the bundle file name directly. So while bundling, take that information from config.js, which is being linked over here under script of build. That because see, this is a JS file, that means it is a script. So it should be within a script property, and at that time of build, it should execute that JS. That's why this information is given in package.json. That's it. Now save it, everything, and go to your command line and hit npm run build. So with the run, with the build, bundling will take place. Okay. Now if I change it over here, something like this. If output, if I give it over here, output 111. Okay. Or what I do, I'm going to create another JS file. So in a source folder, new file, I'm going to create script4.js. And over here, I'm writing something, console.log. Here I'm doing, suppose NIT is a training institute. Okay. Now I have this code. Now anything is there to change this script 4 also should be the part of the bundling. Any changes is required to be done?
Sir, in script.js.
In script.js, you have to use that file,
Import.
right? Yeah. So go for import and /script4.js. Now it has got linked now. Otherwise, there is no link with the entry point. If you don't have link to other JS file, then the bundling for that JS file would be ignored. It will not happen. Semicolon. Now save it. Come over here. npm run build. Yeah, so it is ran fine. Go to the main.js, see. See, NIT is a training institute, it is got being added. So like that, you do the bundling. This is the demo. So all of you try this another in next half an hour and show us the output. You are getting it or not. Okay. One more. What are the installation you have to do? That is, I can give it over here in a chat. I'll just sending it to you. Okay.